Hi, I'm Alex McCord and welcome to The Real Deal on thestir.com. This week we've got lots of gossip from the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, the Mob Wives Season 4 reunion, and off-camera gossip from the Real Housewives of New Jersey, plus viewer questions. First, let's talk the Real Housewives of New Jersey and an update on the Teresa and Joe Giudice case. Last week, In Touch Weekly released an exclusive story that Joe and Teresa would go to court today and plead out their 41 counts of fraud. According to the magazine, the Giudices requested 5 years prison time for Joe, no time at all for Teresa, just probation, plus monetary restitution, and no deportation for Joe. Meanwhile, Joe Giudice's attorney calls this In Touch story a lie. Attorney Miles Feinstein went on record to NewJersey.com stating that the In Touch story was quote-unquote erroneous, but Teresa's lawyer did not comment. According to the new report, the plea deal involves prison time for both housewives. 2 years or less for Teresa and 3 years or more for Joe. No word at all on financial restitution or deportation. If I had to be a cynic, and you know I am, I would say that Teresa's camp probably released the story to In Touch for PR spin and to keep Bravo interested in her. Don't worry, she's not going to jail. I guess we'll see later today which plea is the real deal and whether or not the judge accepts it. Moving on to Beverly Hills. Wow, so much drama to discuss. And I discovered a parallel between the Housewives and the Mob Wives this week. That's coming up later. So I'm catching up on 2 episodes of Beverly Hills, 17 and 18, and the disaster that was the Puerto Rico trip. It boils down to 2 arguments, both involving Lisa Vanderpump. First, let's do tabloid magazine gate. Now, I smell producer lying here. All of you wonderful viewers ask me all the time whether things are scripted, and usually it's more like editing and post-production or engineering versus actual scripting, but every once in a while you get into gray areas like this one. I'm going to give you another example. New York, Season 4, Morocco. The crew told the blondes one time for dinner. They told the brunettes an hour earlier. So we showed up for dinner at what we thought was the correct time, and the brunettes crucified us for being an hour late, while the crew was trying not to laugh. At least that's what happened for the first 15 minutes. Then we all figured out that the producers were lying to us. They didn't show that part on TV. What does all that have to do with the Beverly Hills Puerto Rico drama last week? The moment I saw all the back and forth between Kyle and Lisa about who did or did not put the magazines in Brandy's luggage, I immediately thought producer lying, just like a game of Clue. The producers with the magazine in the bedroom. That actually sounds like fun. But let's move on. The other big drama in Puerto Rico was Lisa and Brandy over husband-stealing Vanderpump Rules starring Sheena Marie. Now, whether Lisa intentionally threw Sheena in Brandy's path 2 years ago, I don't know. She might have. But Brandy babbling about Dancing with the Stars and some kind of conspiracy is deluded. They put people in the audience of Dancing with the Stars either because they're your mother, or you have a project to promote, or your agent or publicist bagged you a seat to get you on camera. Now, Sheena may very well have attended a few Dancing with the Stars nights to promote Vanderpump Rules. Bravo might have put her there, not Lisa. Or perhaps Sheena's agent or publicist put her there trying to raise her profile. Brandy's guilty of blurred lines. And no, I'm not about to start singing. I mean between reality and reality TV. You see, Yolanda Foster hit it on the head when she said, "Are you my real friend or my Hollywood friend?" Now, between the lines, she meant, "Are you my reality TV castmate friend or an actual friend?" See, castmates on Housewives don't often see each other when you're not filming. They might miss 4 months of each other's lives in the off-season and then suddenly be front and center for everything once you're back in production. You could call that being a fake friend, or you could call it being a coworker who shows up when needed. I got so tired of listening to Kim whine about Lisa missing her daughter's graduation party, or Ken whining about Kim missing Pandora's wedding. See, on the Housewives shows, you do get very close to your castmates while you're filming. For the 6 months that you're in production, you live and breathe each other, and there is no room for anything else. So when you wrap the season, you want to go back and spend time with your family and with the friends you have that don't want to be on camera. So where the lines get blurred is when other castmates forget that you have not, in fact, been friends your entire life, and they take offense to things that are caused by production. Say you can't attend an event because you're filming something else, or your castmate promotes her other show on Dancing with the Stars, and the other show, unfortunately, stars someone you hate. Now, I'm not saying Lisa Vanderpump is completely innocent. I did not like a lot of her offhanded interview comments, particularly that I made friends with the underdog and it bit me. That was not nice, but I did feel for Lisa this week. I have literally been that girl storming out of a party with my husband, sitting down for a drink, shaking, my heart racing, trying to figure out what the hell just happened while they're filming us. The thing is, in the reality TV world, most of the event missing and the cars being late and the producer meddling and the confusion are not unfriendly acts by friends. They are business moves by business colleagues, kind of like the mob. So let's move on to Mob Wives. We saw the season 4 reunion, and it was dramatic. Woo. So I have to admit, this is the first time in my life that I have seen a reality TV reunion show that wasn't hosted by Andy Cohen. I liked Sherri Shepherd, did you? See, I don't know whether it's because of all her years on The View or whether she rehearsed really well, but I loved it that she wasn't holding up note cards. It felt more organic, probably helped by the fact that they were around a dinner table instead of at opposite couches as well. Now, I told you I saw parallels this week, right? Producer lying. Alicia and Renee's season-long fight. See, Renee said people wanted us to have issues. And Alicia said there was a lot of hearsay. There were a lot of people in between us telling us what the other was saying. So imagine you are on a reality show. You're sitting in an interview chair and they say to you, your girlfriend said X, Y, and Z about you. How do you want to respond? Well, you go nuts based on false information and that starts a war. Just like Beverly Hills with the magazines. Well, at least Alicia did not get the Natalie headlock treatment. No one deserves to be physically jumped, but whether it is the boys down in Atlanta or the girls up in Mob Wives, I want to say this. I can't stand Natalie. She seems like a complete idiot to me. Does she to you? I could give you 10 examples, but let's start with one. Let's start with the mean tweeting that came up on the reunion. Natalie's son is 9 years old, and therefore Natalie has no idea yet about how being on reality TV and reading horrible things about your parents can affect teenagers. In the first few years of New York, every single one of us talked to the teenage daughters, even not our own, and talked them down off the cliff because it was awful for them reading every little thing about their mothers, and they read all of it. Now, boys at 9 don't know yet, but Renee's got a perfectly valid point that Natalie ought to apologize to Renee's 19-year-old son for that crack whore tweet. Natalie doesn't realize that when it comes to social media, there's a huge difference between 9 and 19. By the time the 9-year-old is tweeting, today's tweets will be buried. It will be difficult for him to find them, but the 19-year-old can see it now in real time. And he also has to face these women with his mom. That's not pretty. My last point about Mob Wives is something that Sherri Shepherd should have known better. One of the things that's really obvious about Andy Cohen at reunions is his tell. I hope for his sake he doesn't play poker. He has this habit of cocking his head to one side and making a shocked face when he asks what he thinks is a gotcha question. And Sherri Shepherd did it too with Renee. I think she was genuinely shocked, but she wasn't getting it when Renee said it's not fun anymore. Lady, I get it. Dorita, I'm with you. All that anger building up over a season can start to eat away at your soul. And I can only imagine how tough it must be to also be in a group of people making a reality show where you're dealing with organized crime, sentencing, and people stalking you from prison. Add all that to the stress of the day of shooting the reunion, and it's enough to make you want to put cement boots on yourself. Gucci ones, of course. Whatever happens with their next season, I hope that Renee and the other cast members find a happy spot. And finally this week, fewer questions. Nate Fame on Twitter asked, who pays for Housewives trips, the cast or the producers? Well, Nate, it depends. If the housewife planned the trip herself in advance and the crew just asked if they could come along and film it, then that housewife pays and the crew pay for themselves. Example, Us, season 1 in St. Bart's, or when a housewife goes on a book tour and they film it, or makes a personal appearance like in a casino or something like that. or if the trip is set up as part of the overall storyline. It's the trip of the season, like Scary Island, Morocco, Puerto Rico, and Beverly Hills. Then the producers either pay for it or they trade out with airlines and hotels for free product in exchange for promotional consideration. Let me know what you thought in the comments. And next week we are moving to Wednesdays. For now, I am Alex McCord. You're watching The Real Deal on thestar.com. See you next time.